everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have my second card for you using Jane's Doodles. Very cute images she draws. I am roughly drawing in some dirt. This is a matter of just some squiggles. So the sentiment, as you can read there, gardeners know all the dirt. I thought it would be really cute if I put her in some dirt. So we're going to colour some dirt. So I've got the E49. I have basically all the whole bunch of 40s. I've got E49, E44, 43, 41, and I'm going to go down to 40. At this point, I have just gone over the lines using the darkest marker. So I didn't really need to use the multi-liner, but I did it. So it's all good. I am using a stippling technique. I am basically going over the top of my lines and going upwards of that line in the majority, not the whole sort of situation, but in the majority, going up over that line. This is going to form a shadow behind my mounds of dirt. By the time I go all the way through it, hopefully it's going to look like a bit of dirt to you. I think it does. I think it's pretty cool. I'm using the E40 there just to put some grounding in and then like to put a whole layer of colour. And then we're going back through with stippling. So with the darkest colour, you really just want little tiny dots. And then doing some more concentrated dots and then going further out and getting them small, a little bit more sparser. I've added a couple more extra lines in there sometimes. And then you've added on doing the same technique of going all the way through all those colours. Now, we're looking at it really, really closely. So you got to think about looking at an arm's length. And I like how this turned out. I did. So with the watering can, I've got C7, C5, and C3. We're going to use the C's also with our little bunny. Now, I've had, you should see there's another card coming out in a couple of days where I haven't been thinking. I'm going to be perfectly honest and straight with you. I have not been thinking. Colour your bunny before you do anything else. Just, it's a white or a, greyish white bunny. Colour that first, because if you pull any of the dark colour like your blues, thankfully enough, that did not happen to me. But especially your reds and your blues, those really dark colours, you're going to cry. If you pull it into your white bunny, you are going to cry. So don't do what I do. And this is, I like to tell you warts and all. The greens we used are G49 and 24. I've picked them basically because they were sketch markers. I tend to be very, very heavy-handed, so for a number of different reasons, I've mentioned this before, I have changed some of the sketch markers over from a chisel tip over to a fine pen point, and that's why I picked the markers basically. I am going to, these violets, I did actually change the nibs over because it was very, very small and I'm very heavy-handed. So the yellows that we've used are YR24, 21. I've used the centers of the yellow flowers. I've used the E44 and 43. The purples I've used V25 and 22. Now I'm also going to use a bit of the same colors on her dress. I know it has a name for it apart from the collar, but there's another name for it. And if you know that name, hit it down below because I cannot think of it. And I don't think it's something that I'm going to remember. So let me know. But around a collar, I'm going to use the same violets, but I'm also going to add in the V20 because it's a bigger image. My blue combinations that I always love, the B99, 97, 95, and 93. I'm working that I've got the darkest around the outside. I've left a narrow margin that I'm colouring in now with my 95. I'm going to go down to 93. I did start colouring the shoes the purple, but I decided to change my mind. So we're going to colour those the blue colour as well. They're super tiny, so it really is not a big deal. I'm also keeping a reflective shadow on her dress, now where her arm is, because I've coloured the arms or the sleeves on her dress that nice deep colour. I want to make sure that I can define between the arms and the dress. So I've left like a tiny couple of millimetre, probably a millimetre of an area around the back. I haven't coloured it with the lightest colour. As I said, I did it in 95. So that's just going to define the colours. With going back to the dirt, let's go back to the dirt. It took me a little while to get this because it is a technique that takes quite a while, but you just got to keep going. You just got to keep using it and keep playing with it until you are happy with it, which is why I put the E40 over the whole base of the card to blend that in a little bit, and working your way down using the same technique, which is going to just soften the color that was before, including right down to the E40. I use the dots. You are taking the lighter colors like the 43, 41 and 40, you are taking them up a little bit higher because you still want the dirt is still going to have texture as it goes up the little mount, but it's going to give a little nice little mound of ground. Now I've trimmed this right down. This is just a piece of cardstock. I wanted to make sure I used it, but of course, as you can see there, I've done something else out of the front. Now I would normally have put that up into the corner and then trimmed off the right hand side and the bottom, but that's going to mean that you're going to see some of the happy birthday die, and of course we can't have that. I did a tiny little oops and started to mark the wrong line with my card base, but that was easy enough to fix with, because I didn't do it very hard, so just rub it back out with a bone folder, and that was it. Our card is almost done. We've got some tarnished brass. I'm going to put some dots in there, and then I'm going to use the nozzle just to push that out, because why not? A little bit of stickles in our bunny's hair, and that is it. That is my card for today. I hope you are well. I hope you are happy. Take care, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.